Hey, what's happening, everybody? Your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you with a dope pair of kicks that I want to get into. This pair I had actually seen online, and then I saw them at my local Finish Line multiple times, and I kept asking if many people had been checking them out, because every time I've been there, I've been wanting to grab another pair of shoes, but I kept seeing these, and I kept thinking to myself, if I miss out on these, then I'm going to be mad at myself. But I ended up finally grabbing a pair from my local Finish Line. It's an Air Trainer SC, and I'm a huge fan of the Air Trainer line. Right now I'm rocking the Air Trainer Georgetowns, but I love the retro vibes of them. I love that they remind me of Bo Jackson. This pair in particular is an Auburn colorway, and that's where he went to college. He was a running back for Auburn, and he actually won a Heisman Trophy there for his accomplishments as a running back. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's look at these Air Trainer SCs in the Auburn colorway. And real quick before we get into those, I just want to give you a good look at why I like these so much. This is the Georgetown colorway, not an OG colorway, but I think the silhouette wears these colors quite well, and I really love this pair. But alright, on to the Auburn. Alright, really nothing to show you with the box, just standard. The tag reads Air Trainer SC High. The colors are white, light Zen gray, and tart. I never would have guessed that was the colors in a million years. But I got a size 10.5. In all Air Trainers across the board, I get a 10.5 when I can. In these Air Trainer SCs without the strap on the front, I could go true to size, but I still prefer to get a 10.5. I feel like where my foot is wide, they're a little bit snug for all Air Trainers. But anyhow, I went with a 10.5. Retail on these is $130, but I used a $10 off rewards coupon, so I paid $120 plus tax. And if these aren't the most retro looking kicks that I've seen in a minute, I don't know what is. I really like these things. Every time I'd go to Finish Line, I'd be going for something else, usually a Jordan or something like that, but these would always catch my attention. I ended up finally grabbing a pair because I kept asking them, do you still have multiple pairs of 10.5? And for a while they had a couple pairs in that size, and then the last time I went, when I picked up my infrared 4s, they said they were down to their last pair of 10.5. So I thought, well, I better scoop these up, because if I don't, then I know I'll end up regretting it. But these colors, the overall shape, and just the design of them, it's a Tinker Hatfield design, and they just scream early 90s to me. But starting with the outsole, even that I feel like has a very retro vibe to it. You could pull these off with like some Phoenix Suns gear or something too, you know, not just Auburn, but this dark blue, it's almost like a purple color. But that and the orange, it really gives me like Phoenix Suns vibes too, like maybe with a Charles Barkley or like a Kevin Johnson jersey or something. I think these would work with that too. But you can see we've got a standard Air Trainer SC tread pattern. The Nike here in the midfoot is in that deep blue or almost purple color. The majority of it is white, but in the front you get some of that dark blue or purple, and then some of that neon orange, and then in the heel you get some neon orange. But very nostalgic looking, very retro looking. And then as you come up, you can see that the white wraps up from the outsole to the midsole, but then along with that, we've got some bright orange painted hits on the midsole. On the outside of the shoe surrounding that air unit, it's white. But as we come to the inside of the shoe, It's that neon orange color. And the paint isn't the neatest, but it looks good enough. That's one thing I will say about these. I wouldn't ever get these expecting to have like extremely premium quality materials or anything like that. However, I get these just because of the retro vibes and because I just absolutely loved Bo Jackson as a kid, and I still love these styles that spoke to me whenever I was a child. But then you can see as we come up, we've got a mix of different leathers and different materials and whatnot, different colors and textures and everything. On the mudguard, we've got like a smooth white leather. And then on the toe box, this has a lot more texture. Hopefully it's not too washed out because of the bright sun, but on the toe box and then the majority of this upper, basically everywhere you see these perforations, like on the side and then up by the collar, it's got a little bit more texture. It is synthetic feeling. It feels better than the standard leather that we get on mids, and I would even say it feels better than most leather that we get on dunks, but it does still have a synthetic feel. But this white leather with all these perforations, that's pretty much the entire base of the upper. And then you can see we have some overlays of this blue synthetic leather, and then we've got like a light gray swoosh, and down here this gray, this actually feels like a nubuck, and it feels pretty nice. It has a nice feel to it, but it's a darker gray than what we have on the swoosh. And then of course on the back, it's got that Nike branding and like the boxy letters, and I like that. But then going up to these bright orange accents here on the eyelets, you've got this kind of like, it's like a mesh or like a netting type material with a neon orange behind it. And I like the way that looks. I like the difference in texture that it gives. Just another pop of color. But that's a neon orange. And then up here on the eyelets, we've got 2 hits of neon orange. And then up here at the top, we have that deep blue, almost purple type color. And then for the tongue, it's not quite what we get for like Jordan 1s or Dunks. It's like a mix between that and like a neoprene type feel, if that makes any sense. But it's like a white material, and then up at the top we've got more of that neon orange, and we have that boxy Nike font again, and they gave us some flat white laces. Then like I said, the top of the tongue is bright orange, but on the back of it we've got that nice deep bluish purple color, and it looks like an old school type Nike AirTag. I don't know if you can get a good look at that. But then the sock liner is white, and the insole is a neon orange. But overall, I just think these are dope as dope can be. I mean, they scream 90s to me. And of course, that's when I was a kid, that's when I was growing up. So shoes that have this kind of style just really, they really knock it out of the park for me. I do feel like if you took these back in the time machine, I mean, people wouldn't think, what's that? It really does look like something from that era. And I think Nike knocked these out of the park. But let me know what you think of them, and I'll catch you on the next one.